Oh my gosh, it's been a really crazy day with work, going to Knott's Berry Farm with the family and friends, having a great time. I was hoping I would fit in a movie, and I did. It was a movie that I was really hyped up to see for a few months now. Some friends have seen it, and for some reason, I was really curious because it has a 93 or 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film is called The Guest, and it comes from the same writer and director, not the same person. The writer and the director are two different people, but the same writer and director of the movie that came out last year called You're Next. And they've also worked on the VHS 1 and 2 and ABCs of Death. So they're pretty familiar with how horror works. I really like what they've done in the VHS movie and the ABCs of Death, and I liked You're Next. But I didn't know about this going in, so I found out about this afterwards. I kind of wanted to go in this completely blind. I didn't see the trailer. I didn't know who was in this film. And after watching it, these are some of these people I've seen before. They're character actors. I've seen them in other films. But the main star of the film is a guy named Dan Stevens. And I've never seen him in my entire life as an actor. And I'll have to go find out what he's done. If you know what he's done, let me know in the comment box below. I'd be really curious because he was awesome. And this film is so out there and so strange that it's really weird to try and explain what the plot is. Okay, so Dan Stevens plays this war veteran that comes to see his best friend's family. Now his best friend looks like he died in the war or some sort of battle, so he's visiting the parents and the family of his best friend for some reason, and he just integrates into their lives. He becomes a part of their family, and it doesn't seem like it's a very good thing that's going to be happening here. And I don't want to explain any more about the film and what happens, who he meets, who he becomes friends with, who he interacts with, because I think that would spoil the experience. I didn't know much about this story going in. I just went on some really great reviews. Even though I don't know what the critics have said, I'd be really curious to find out what the critics have really said and what my friends have said. People just like it. From what I've seen, people enjoyed it. So I just had so much excitement for it because I love creepy horror films. I like these guys who made the movie. I like movies get praise. I want to see if they actually deserve the praise that they've gotten. And I'll have to say right now, I think the movie is getting praised too much. It's out there, it's weird, it's crazy, it goes in places that I didn't expect, but I don't know if it really deserves a 94%. What that probably means is that 94% out of 100 like the film. And I would definitely be one of those people that would say, I like the film. I wouldn't say I loved the film, I really wanted to love the film, but the film just, for some reason, left me just wondering why. And I can't really explain why I have that why feeling. Why is this all going on? I don't know why. And I don't really want to explain that too much because I think I'll spoil something for you. Because I really don't want to spoil anything for you. I do recommend this movie, especially if you are a horror fan and you want to see something that's different. But the film also feels like a throwback to the 1980s. The movie is centered in today's time. They're using cell phones, smartphones. But the movie does feel like a throwback. It does feel like it's on a smaller scale, though the movie is well made. It doesn't feel like a low-budget film, though it is probably really a low-budget movie. The acting is solid, especially by Dan Stevens and the entire cast. There's some people in the film that are part of the family. I felt like the daughter of this family that he visited was the weakest actress in the movie, but it didn't really ruin my experience. I think the filmmakers didn't really care about the why. They were more interested in the where this movie actually goes, because where this movie goes is just out there. It's completely weird, but it doesn't get weird enough. Maybe that's one of my complaints. I kind of wish this movie would go in some weird direction than it was going. When you kind of get some of the revelations that happen in this story, I felt like, really? That's why this is all happening? I'm not really buying that. Damn it. Because the movie was just so like, hopefully when we get this explanation, we'll be like, oh my gosh, that's insane. But I never felt like that's insane when we got the revelation. I did feel like the movie was going in some weird, ballsy places that did feel insane, especially what the main character does. I mean, he's like this weird, dirty Harry kind of character. I almost felt like a younger, much younger Clint Eastwood while watching this movie. But I will have to say, because this movie had a really great 80s vibe to it, I feel like the filmmakers made a really honest, sweet love letter to a great 80s horror director and 70s, John Carpenter. At times, I felt like, did John Carpenter direct this movie? This feels like a John Carpenter movie. I think John Carpenter would have done a better job than the filmmakers did. I think John Carpenter would have went into different places than this film did. But I really appreciate where the filmmakers went. I mean, they do get to the horror tropes and they have fun with it. The movie's not really self-aware of itself, but it has fun. It's enjoyable. I really like the ending. It has a John Carpenter ending to it, and I don't want to say what the ending is, but I love the movies. I love the John Carpenter films because of the way he ends his films, and I think it had like a really cool ending to the movie where it goes. We'll have to see if we get more movies like this. I want to see more films from this director and this writer. I think these guys are really talented, and I think they have their heads in the right place. They know what they need to do, and I think after this time and the next time, someday we're going to get a horror masterpiece from these guys. It didn't really happen this time, but I really appreciate the effort. I mean, they get an A for effort. I just wish it went in more interesting places, especially when we do find out the whys. I just didn't really like the whys. I like where it goes, but I wanted to go, why? Oh, you don't have to explain everything. You don't have to explain everything. Leave some things up in the air, but I just like some little bit of whys. And the whys are like, really? Whatever. But still, really crazy, really weird, especially Dan Stevens. He carries this movie. I'm glad he's the star of this film, and I'm really interested to find out where this guy is from and what he's going to be doing in the future. And I really also want to see where these filmmakers go. I think this is a solid, good horror film that could have gone somewhere else. It didn't really go where I wanted to go, but it did take a lot of risks that most horror films today don't do, so I really appreciate that as well. People, let's say, there's a lot of people that don't see the end of this movie. Characters that don't see the end of this movie. So I appreciate that as well. That was pretty cool where it goes, you know. You didn't expect that sometimes. But overall, well-made film. Congratulations. Congratulations on getting critics to like you. And hopefully, from now on, you're going to make even better horror films from this, and you'll learn from this, and you're going to make better films. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, really, really fun movie, solid movie. I wish it was better, but I'm going to give The Guest, I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. And please go to WeLoveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Love Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePod.com. And if you enjoyed this movie review, please click right here, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life. And if you've seen The Guest, I'm glad I found it in the theater. I didn't expect to see it in the theater, so I'm really glad I found it in one theater in my area. So I'm glad I saw it in the theater. I think it's a movie need to be seen in the theater, and it's a midnight movie as well. Let me know if you've seen it. Comment box below if you liked it or not. I'd really appreciate it. Want to hear from you. Again, have a wonderful life, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Peace be with you.